Love what you guys are doing, man.
Excellent, man. So we could.
What's up, Chad? How's everyone doing?
Oh, checking in with the chat. That's what I'm talking about. Toke on the check-in. So, I mean, I like to, the point here of the Fen Talks, we've seen now, I scroll back to the beginning of your YouTube channel, over 8 years of all the volume and intensity, covered so many type of different games, and I think, you know, everyone, I've heard from the chat a few times, you know, Toke is the guy that got me into MUT, that got me into Madden. I was watching his daily uploads. So, you know, really you're a part of this whole story. But, you know, the point of the Fen Talks are to get at a little bit of the origin, some of the background, like what you were going through at the same time, the things that you were thinking about, how you had to prioritize, you know, fatherhood, how this changes things. So, you know, as much of the background and kind of what has been going on behind the scenes, the better, the more the better. But I guess, man, we could start, if you'd like to, let's go early, Toke. Let's go background, man. If you would share, where did you grow up? What was home like? Did you have like siblings in the house, competitive house, video games early? What was the earliest Toke?
I'm from Clearwater Beach, Florida.
Okay.
So, yeah, I played video games my whole life. I think my first system was, and I was a Sega guy. I know that sounds weird because Sega's not even a thing now, but like,
Genesis?
I was a Sega Dreamcast,
okay.
Sega Saturn.
Nice.
You know, I used to play with my friends, football, NCAA and stuff like that. And then I got into Nintendo 64. I played that a little bit.
Okay.
And I've always been a gamer, bro. Like, you know, sports and gaming, younger childhood. Took a little bit of break from gaming when I got older. It was all about chasing the tail.
Of course.
And then
priorities change.
I got back into gaming a little bit way before YouTube. I mean, college, I never had a job in college. Literally paid my bills playing beer pong for 4 years straight.
No shot.
And then got back into it, and I've been a gamer my whole life for the most part. Very competitive person.
Hold on a second now. Were you running some type of college racket with these beer pong games, or were you really just that good? You're taking down the upperclassmen, these frat boys looking for a money match, or what?
So I went to Florida State, which is, if anyone knows, Florida State's #1 party school in the nation every single year. Mm-hmm. It is you literally could be in your car at any given moment and look in your rearview mirror, and there was a 10 out of 10 blonde girl every single time. Great. So if there's any young guys that live in the South, I highly, highly recommend Florida State. But no, they used to. So I went up there. I went up there with some buddies. Obviously competitive guy. Mm-hmm. Was always good at you know, anything that was competitive. I always wanted to be the best at. So
yeah.
They would run beer pong tournaments 3 times a week, 4 times a week. So it would be like $5-10 to enter. It'd be like 50 to 100 teams, and you would drink for free all night. And if you won, it would be anywhere from $250 to $500, and then you would get matched with that on bar tabs.
Right.
I'm not saying I had a fake ID, but I'm not saying I didn't. So I started on a young age, and then yeah, man, we started winning, and I didn't need a job, so we would win, get free bar slips,
college, though, huh? Goodness gracious. And that's, I mean, if you got 50 to 100, even if 10 bucks entry, get to drink all night, that's killing a couple birds with one stone. And you were actually able to, so this is like kind of what you were doing for money then in college, early hustle.
Yeah, that was the hustle. Ate good, you know, went to school. Yep. I was, you know, I had a motorcycle and a skateboard, and that was really it.
So Florida State, grinding out some beer pong tourneys, making a couple bucks for yourself. Probably, I mean, at Florida State, if you know, you look around, you see 3 10s in arm's reach. I gotta imagine not gaming a whole heck of a lot in college. Like, I mean, outside the dorms, really.
We would run like surprisingly. So I mean, we'll get on later on, I'm sure. But
yep,
Madden to me was, I was more of an NCAA guy myself. Like, honestly, I loved playing NCAA. That was my game. And I think that kind of transitions to the way I play Madden now. If you watch me play Madden, I run a completely different scheme. Like, I love the triple option. I love QB reads and stuff like that. And I think that kind of transpires from the NCAA days.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You saw us finishing up our our NCAA game of the day, but it's kind of had a little bit of a resurgence, I suppose. You're seeing a lot of, bigger streamers tapping back into NCAA 14. Are you excited about the potential for next year? You must be.
I mean, I am, but at the end of the day, like, I think EA is the biggest fucking scam of a company in my life. So with them making it, like, I don't want to get my hopes up. You know what I'm saying?
True indeed. You upstreamed one of my questions, but I cannot imagine a better opportunity than you just gave me to tap in with your thoughts, feeling. It was going to be kind of an extension of I wanted to ask you about coin sponsorships and, how you feel about their viability. But it sounds like you do not indeed think very highly of EA. Is there any relationship there at all? Any type of positivity going on there with you? I mean, you're one of their biggest creators.
Bro,
not really.
No, EA could fall in a pile of shit, and I would just walk away and let them just sit there.
Fair.
Like, I'm not even joking, bro. Like, I can't.
I know you're not. No, I know you're
them.
not. I'm laughing because it's funny, not because I think you're joking.
I can't stand EA. Like, I mean, going back to when I started YouTube and Mutt and everything like that to the way it is now, like, I mean, I feel bad for people that just started playing Madden this year or last year, like, compared to what it used to be. Like, it is what it is, and like I said, like, I still love Madden. I'm a big NFL guy, if people know. Like, I'm big into, the fantasy aspect of it, and, potentially maybe one day, when maybe my youngest son goes to kindergarten, I might start some type of sports podcast or something, because I'm truly passionate about that. I'm into it. I know what's going on. My takes might trigger people, but I mean, I think that's the perfect way of doing it. That's the point, though,
right? Content.
Yeah, man.
I mean, how have you seen things change? You alluded to, what it looked like back then compared to what it looked like now. Do you just mean like the microtransaction money thing?
Greed, lack of creativity, always last to the party. Mm-hmm. This year you see a little bit more creativity and stuff. I don't know, bro. I feel like I'm like a loyal person, bro. I keep to myself. I got a few dudes that are my guys, and that's really it. So it's like with EA, like, I don't know, bro. It doesn't have the feeling that it used to. And maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, It's like a weird comparison, but like, why would you, if you were driving a brand new Lamborghini and that thing was still sitting in the car and it has 35,000 miles on it, and then the next year it comes out and it's a Ford fucking Focus with 3 broken rims, and that's the new car. Yeah. Why would you want to not go back to the Lamborghini? And then that's kind of how I look at it. I feel like every year it's dumbed down. It's a rinse and repeat system. It's, they're always adding features that nobody wants. And that's just personally me. I truly enjoy the other sports games more.
Yeah, I noticed in scrolling your channel, there was more variety. Honestly, more than maybe I expected to see. I mean, you got hands in everything. Obviously, MLB, like we know that. But even beyond that, were you one of the first guys to get hands on a PGA? This is probably not a question you expected today. We're a bunch of PGA nerds in the channel. We're
Bro,
playing
I got
all
a
the
Masters
time.
hat on right now. Custom Masters hat. I golf probably 2 times a week.
Holy mackerel. So do you do like any of the TGC Tour, like the online stuff, like the comp stuff with that?
No, just my time is so limited now.
Sure.
Like, so, but I did get PGA early. I had a couple ins, and you know what too, like the I don't do a lot of stuff with 2K, but like they be looking out for people. Like, it's not like some, like EA, you get on their shit list once and they're just like, fuck you, like EA, like, these other companies are always looking out, always reaching out privately, like, hey, I got you, you can do this, you can do that. Like, I've never played a WWE game in my life. I put one tweet out of it and some guy I don't even know hits me up in the DMs. He's like, you want the game? You can play. You don't have to do anything with it. And I was like, sure.
Yeah. Absolutely, count me in. Yeah, no, I mean, you're not the only one to feel like that. I thought it was a joke at first, like the first few times I heard about it, but I think there is very likely an actual blacklist, like an actual EA blacklist that if you land on there, it's gonna be pretty much all for you. But I know you've also cultivated some, pretty personal relationships through your experience with Madden, even if EA is not helping anybody, I had specific requests here. These guys must know something that I don't know. But like I said, man, a bunch of fans of yours in the chat. They're all over the place, but a bunch of them in the chat as well. Do you got ScoMo CC stories? Is there like a crowning ScoMo CC story? Because y'all go way back, do you not?
Yeah. Man, listen, chat, I don't know, man. Like, if we ever go out, like, I'm going to do the best thing I can to make you have a good time. Like, I don't know. Like, I got one filter. It's go, go, go. You know what I'm saying? So
yep.
There's probably 100 stories. There's one story that I wish I could tell y'all, and I can't. But
those are the good ones. Those are the best ones.
The greatest story I've ever had is actually with ScoMo and Shake and Bake. As funny as that sounds. I had one with Cookie Boy too, and I don't know if I'm able to say that. And I'm most likely the bad influence of the group because I'm just like, go. There's all gas, no brakes. Like if we're going out, we're just fucking going out. But I mean, there's some wild stories, man. I'm not sure if I could share them or not, but.
Fair enough. I won't make you throw anybody under the bus. But I mean, you guys
like if I did, you guys would think it's funny. I would die laughing, but maybe the person I'm talking about would be like, "Bro, what the fuck?"
Yeah, I think ScoMo probably all right. CC might be like, I could probably have done without that. CC on the straight and narrow.
can hang a lot.
Oh, I bet he can.
I got funny stories for days. Like I don't even know if I could.
I mean, are these guys big partiers? Like, okay, without too many specifics, like could they keep up with you? Because you're going to be all gas, no brakes, leading from the front on these things. But it sounds like these boys did a decent job.
DC can keep up for sure. ScoMo, bro. We went out one time with me and ScoMo went out one time. We came home and I went to bed. It was great night, amazing night. He woke me up in the morning and was like, dude, my wife had to come home from work, put an IV in my arm. I was dying. And I'm like, wait, what? But ScoMo can hang too. So, I mean, definitely some good times. And, shout out to those guys. And, we've done some get-togethers and, you got a funny story with Cookie Boy, got a funny story with Shake and Bake, got a funny story with Route Combo. I don't think anyone knows. Like, just shit that I could never see having happen to me, but
So did you guys like kind of make the occasion to link up with each other? Was it at like live events? I suppose it seems like y'all had more occasion to be in person, to be live. Like, is it conventions that y'all are linking up with? I mean, I know COVID obviously very much changed landscape, and we're starting to consider some live events and stuff again.
Most of the time, I just will plan something and have everyone come to my house, or we'll go to an event or whatnot.
Nice.
I like to entertain. I like to, welcome people into my home.
Yeah, I love that. No, I'm the same way. I've had a few guests of people I've met on the internet, on stream and whatnot, and it's nice. It's like when you meet, it feels a little bit like you've known each other already, because in some ways you do. Even though half these guys, I didn't know what they looked like before they showed up at the crib one day. All right, so a little light on ScoMo CC stories, but at least we do know you guys go way back. So college FSU, playing some Pong, winning some money. Afterwards, graduate. Did you hop into the workforce? Were you considering YouTube as like a more sustainable option? Where were your considerations after now you're done with school and it's time for the rest?
That's a really good question. So I finished school, and honestly, I mean, and this might hit home to one person in the chat or one person watching, and if it does, hey man, stick with it. But I did not want to be told what to do, if that makes sense, at such a young age.
Appreciate
and
that.
I've made, I'm not the best kid in the world. Like, I've definitely made my fair share of bad choices and stuff, but I did not want to be told what to do. I didn't want to get up, have a miserable job, and be told what to do by some fucking guy that hates his life more than I do for a check. So
preach.
I actually started bartending.
Okay.
And I was bartending, and I was making really good money.
It is good money.
And that's kind of where I got. And then I met my wife, who was a Hooters girl.
Awesome.
I used to go to Hooters, and
well done, W.
Yeah, W's in the chat, boys. Anyways,
with you.
So I started doing that, and we kind of got serious. So I went from going out every night and like partying and, you know, chasing the girls and everything and at that point, I probably had retired from playing video games for the most part for probably like a year or so, right? Okay. And I was playing heavy Call of Duty as well before this, like probably 2-3 years before this, and then got with my wife now, and we still went out and did stuff, but it was more of sitting at home type thing and all that. So I started getting back into gaming, and I would bartend, and then I would come home, and then I don't know if anyone that's has been following me for a long time. One of my good friends, Poostain, I met him over the internet. We've been friends for almost 10 years, maybe longer. Still friends to this day. We would play Call of Duty. So I would bartend, and then I would come home at like 11 o'clock at night, and we would wager. This kind of went right back to what I said in the very beginning of like the competitive aspect of just trying to be the best at whatever I do. Yeah. We started wagering $100, $200 games of 2-on-2 Call of Duty. Oh. So I would bartend, come home. We would set up like 2 or 3 wagers where we'd basically place 2-on-2 private lobby Call of Duties, and then we were winning those. And kind of how it went, you know, and we were gaming and stuff like that. And I don't think I played Madden for like probably like 3 or 4 years at that point, and I was just playing competitive Call of Duty, and we were actually very, very good at it. It was our return of investment per month was insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So
was it grimy out there though, in the COD wager streets? Are you getting burned? Or you like only playing dudes?
Everything was like pay up front type thing. Yeah. Like it was cool. As long as you had a capture card, you were able to show proof. Like it was, if you were good at it, it was like printing money, man.
So man, that's wild. I love the hustle money though. The beer pong into the wagers. That's great stuff. So video games kind of now coming back into your life. It's looking a little bit different. Like you're not the college boy, you know, running through beer pong tournaments and you know, chasing whatever. Hey, the missus has entered your life now.
The last beer pong, I met my wife. Yep. At this point, I had moved from Tallahassee to Tampa. Okay. And I was living Clearwater Beach, right, which is right next to Tampa. The first date I ever went on with my wife, because I just didn't really, you know, like I went to this giant bar in Tampa. If you guys have ever been to Tampa, it's called Peabody's, and they held a 500 person beer pong tournament. I was, dog, at that point, bro, I was like Michael Jordan, dog. Like you give me a ping pong ball and like it looked like a trash can. It did not matter. And I took her. And there was all these frat guys and all these fucking pop collar dudes. Like that's not the way things were when I was there. And then right, I took her to this tournament, and I was like, let's go play in this beer pong tournament, right? She was like, I've never played before. I said, you don't have to play. I said, just as long as you make 1 cup a game or come close, we will not lose. We went 500 people. We were there for 8 hours, and we won the entire tournament. We were the only guy-girl team in the tournament. 500 people, so 250 teams. It was you only could lose twice. If you lost once, you went to the losers bracket. Right. We won the whole fucking thing. It was the first date I ever went on with her.
Unbelievable. Did she hold up her bar? Did she make 1 cup a game?
No, but she was clutch when it needed to be.
Okay, and you're just probably not missing. You're shooting 80%.
No, I don't miss. I mean, even when I play with some of my friends now, like I don't miss. Like if I do, it's rare.
Was it like the standard, like the folding table length games, or like the actual ping pong length games?
Oh no, just like the folding 6 to 8 feet.
Right. That's a dope. And that was the first date with the woman who would become your wife, was winning a beer pong.
It was, bro. And I used to go to Hooters almost every night to try to get her to go out with me. And she's like, I'm not fucking going out with you. And then finally she did. And hey, Chad, you know, I gave you one time and she never left.
Come on, man. A little bit of persistence. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing. Bro, speaking of persistence, because I'm sure that you had to show some of it throughout this dilemma. I'm certain this isn't probably your favorite thing to talk about, but it was so much to watch from the outside, and all's well that ends well. Got the channel back, everything's all good. You had your channel taken hostage, did you not?
Yeah, I did.
Bad, very bad. I remember watching it unfold. from like the community, everyone and everyone we could to, try to get some eyes and some help on that. Like I said, I certainly wouldn't have asked about it if it didn't go well, but all's well that ends well. Got the channel back. Everything's okay. When did you realize, where were you? And was it as terrifying as I think it probably was?
Nah, not as terrifying. Honestly, you know what? So, I get a ton of brand deals. I get a ton of emails every single day. And honestly, I knew like, it's my fault that it got hacked.
Interesting.
And even when I show like some of the people, I don't think I even have it anymore, but when I showed people, so basically I get brand deals all the time, right? Some of them are ones that you want and some that are ones that you don't want. So this one actually was like a phishing email, and it was about, it actually came from @Nike.com. Like as crazy as that sounds, it was probably one of the greatest little phishing emails I've ever seen. And
whoa, because I always check the domain, and this came from .Nike, like Nike.com.
Yeah, so it was basically to do a little sellout video for Nike, like one of their new drops and stuff. And I clicked it, everything went good, and then it wanted me to like download, like I clicked it and then it downloaded a zip file. And I knew at that moment, I was like, fuck, this is fake.
Yeah.
So I went to go respond, and then there was no reply domain, and the email didn't happen. And I just went about my day. I was like, I uninstalled it and whatnot. But then what I didn't know at that moment was that basically anytime I got on that computer that I downloaded it, it was just remembering all the keys I pushed. So anytime I logged into my bank or my crypto or Twitter or Instagram or Twitch or YouTube, or if I went to fucking Pornhub.com, like them motherfuckers knew what I was watching. You know what I mean? Like, and I had no clue at that time. And honestly, it went by for like 2 weeks and I thought I was fine, right? And then when it happened on a Friday night, and I knew instantly what it was. I knew what email it came from. I knew what happened. It is what it is. It kind of sucks though, because it kind of getting everything back. I was in the middle of switching partnerships. Like it was an absolute hassle. But hey, man, everything's back now. Everything's good.
And you were made whole. Mistakes. Like you were able to figure it out, and no real lasting harm done.
Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like there's been a decline in my channel ever since, and I don't know if that's just Madden or me not being consistent, but gotta just work harder, brother.
Fair enough. I mean, that is usually indeed the answer. I mean, and let's talk about the channel. Obviously, I love to hear the background story about the first date with the missus. That might be kind of all-time Fen Talks material. I love that. But you left off. We've kind of left off chronologically in your story.
We can go back. Well, let's go. We'll go back. So
yeah, please.
So was dating the wife or the girlfriend for a while, and then she got pregnant, and I was still making really good money. And I think it was Madden 13 came out, right? Madden 13 came out. And this is before even I made a YouTube. I got into Madden 13 heavy for MUT, right? And I loved it. And I started like finding ways to get coins. So like just super fast. And before any coin selling or anything like that, I was actually like selling cards on eBay. And I would like make money. I had 2 Xboxes, and you would just match up together, quit, and then just rinse and repeat. And I was able to make and at that point in the very beginning of the game, there was 99 overall cards right off the gate, right? And then if you pre-ordered from GameStop, I don't know if you guys really remember, but if you pre-ordered from GameStop, you got a free 4-star Calvin Johnson just off the receipt. And I can't remember where I went. It was like before Reddit. It was like a different Reddit, and I kind of was familiar with that page, and I was like, hey, does anyone have that code that they're not playing Ultimate Team? I wound up getting 50 Calvin Johnsons just randomly from nice people on the internet.
And eBay.
And I started putting up 2 cards a day, bro.
Wow.
And I was making $500. People were buying Patrick Willis puzzle pieces for $250 and Calvin Johnson for $250. And I guess there we go, right back to me just being an entrepreneur and hustling. And doing whatever.
Crazy, man. Money by any means. I thought you were, bro. That went left. I thought you were gonna be like, I just started generating some coins. It was the early coin methods. No, you're making actual real money off of this.
Yeah, so I was selling them on eBay. Shit was fire, and was still playing Call of Duty. and then all right, so we'll go a little bit more chrono up. We were playing Call of Duty, and my wife got pregnant. And we were still playing Call of Duty, and then Madden 25 came out at that point. I had stopped with the Madden 13 stuff for probably 6 months, 7 months, went back to Call of Duty, and then Madden 25 came out, and I started watching, and I always felt like I was an entertainer, like stuff like that, and
I'd agree.
I got into Madden, and it started. This is like really the first time I ever really knew what YouTube was, as fucking dumb as that sounds, but I just wasn't a phone guy. Like I wasn't watching YouTube, and I finally found out what YouTube was, and I started looking for, I don't know what the hell I was looking for. I wanted to find something on Madden. I found it, and then I kind of got hooked on YouTube for like a week or two, and I was like, I told my wife, I said, I think I could do this. I'm better. I'm a better. And if you guys remember me from back in the day, dude, I was the fucking goon at Madden. I was like, thanks. I'm better than all these kids that are making YouTube videos. And I'm damn sure funnier than these kids that are making YouTube videos. And I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to make YouTube videos. And she's like, you're fucking full of shit. You're not going to sit there and smoke your weed and play Call of Duty. And, like, you're not going to make YouTube videos. I said, I'm going to make YouTube videos. And I did.
And you actually made the YouTube video.
We actually met a crackhead, it felt like, to buy my first ever Elgato at a gas station in the middle of the hood at like 11 o'clock at night.
Why? The stores weren't selling them? You had to get them from the black market at that point?
Hey, man, we were having a baby. I didn't know if I could have got it half off. I was going to get it half off.
True indeed, man. Sketchy situation be damned. So Mrs. called you called she calls your bluff. You actually pulled the trigger. Oh, who were you watching when you were binging for the week? Do you recall like any of the folks that you were actually watching?
Really, the only one I liked was Addy Cards.
Okay.
So I can't remember any of the other dudes, to be honest with you.
So still bartending and gonna give YouTube an actual shot. Madden exclusively at first, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like as of the first
for the first 6 or 7 months, yeah.
How did you come out of the gate? Were you doing this daily? Did you kind of like, was it dabbling at first and then got a little more serious? Like how did you lock in on this?
I just made a video and it was exactly like I told my wife. I said, I can do this better than the people that are doing it now. And I did. And I think I was the first person in the Madden community to like go live commentary things, put your face on the internet, and stuff like that. And I just did, and I had fun doing it. It was fun. I mean, like, you can go watch my old videos. I look like a fucking fool. But,
yeah, bro. But
it's just the way it works. And I started doing wagers. I did some, I actually started, it was crazy. I started actually talking to Addy Cards and all this stuff, and then it just kind of went from there.
Man, it's a beautiful thing.
People think a lot of people think that my channel blew up over Madden, which I guess it did. But honestly, like, it's because I'm a seasonal MLB person. But like my MLB is why I got to where I was at. It wasn't because like that road to the show, and like you could see, if you guys see right behind me, like there's a number 91 Pittsburgh Pirates framed nasty jersey, and that series I did in MLB 15 with the panty dropper. I mean, that shit blew up like crazy. That was the craziest series I ever did. Like, I'm very humble when I walk in this office. I look at that jersey and I think about all that stuff.
Minor cam drop potential.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, you good money. So the blow. So did you have momentum right out of the gate? You said that the early MLB series is what like really kind of catapulted you. Were you just kind of treading water, spinning wheels up until that point?
No, hold on. I'll get my camera, but I can still hear you. No, not really. I don't think so. I think I uploaded my first video and that motherfucker got like 3,000 views. That's just out of the gate.
Nuts. Oh my goodness gracious. And then wrote it out. What was the like partner arrangement? Were you able to make money right out of the gate with YouTube back then?
I partnered with Fullscreen for a long time. Yeah. I wasn't making money right out the gate, but it was pretty quick.
Nice. So we're like, I guess Madden like 15, 16 here. One of the this is another, message from the chat, question from the chat of someone who's been following you for quite a while. Madden 17, was there like drama? I don't know who the guy is. C-Mad situation. Somebody popped in on your chat and started talking mess or something like that about streamer pack luck. Is there a story here?
My camera working?
Yeah, sure is, brother. Yep, looking good.
Man, that dude's a fucking moron.
He fucking sucks.
No, like, you just assume, like, don't assume guys, don't ever assume things unless you're 100% sure that what you're saying is facts.
Right.
Dog, I was dropping like thousands of dollars opening packs just because, I was only showing the good stuff doesn't mean. And I came with receipts, bro. I was fucking livid. This dude's out here, and if there's one thing my parents taught me is don't put other people's names in your mouth unless you want them come barking up your tree. And that's kind of how I was raised. It's how I raised my kids, Yeah. It's just like when someone tweets me and they say, this dude's talking all this shit about you, like, you better make sure your facts are straight. Mm-hmm. So I joined and I was pissed, bro. Like, you guys can just go search the video yourself. I done went off on the dude, put the receipts in the chat, and that was kind of what it was,
Would you have had the same reaction today, do you think? Are you still like as
I ain't getting EA $1 in like a year.
Right.
I am not there's YouTubers that are, buying bundles and each its own.
Yeah.
I'm past that stage, dog. Like, I'm not supplying a company that I think is just shit. And if that's a decline on my channel for that, so be it.
Yeah.
But, I'll take my write-offs on other stuff. Like, I'm not fueling the fire of what has made this game. And now I firmly stand by that. And like, I'll buy a bundle every here and there, but other than that, like, I'm not buying bundles.
Yeah, I support that. We also don't spend much money in the channel. But so now that YouTube is live, you got some stuff going on, kind of a little bit of momentum right out of the gate. MLB stuff was crazy. One of the questions I had for you was your craziest craziest banger video of all time in the channel. Was it even still, like, to this day, that early MLB series?
Consistently, yeah, I would think so. It was fun. And it's not even like the gameplay. Like, people don't watch me for MLB. I'm probably the worst MLB player of all time. I mean, I think people don't watch me regardless. Like, I told Dubby a long time ago. I met Dubby for the first time. He's playing competitive Madden, and I told him, I said, the difference between you and me? And he said, what? He says, I told him, and he'll tell you to this day that this is one of the biggest things that ever stuck with him as an early streamer. Mm-hmm. I said, the difference between you and me is I still make money when I lose. And he'll tell you that's 5 years ago. It still sticks with him to this day. Like, he'll tell you, like, like when you're playing competitive Madden and it relies on EA paying you out and you winning, if you don't win, and when you start enjoying the game, I enjoy I don't watch a lot of Madden,
right? But
I enjoy uploading L's. I like to give you my raw reaction of like, okay, this dude just fucking beat me. It is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Like, nobody is fucking perfect, And I almost enjoy losing more than I do winning. I enjoy winning. I love those game-winning drives, that and that. But there's the opposite side of that where you got the game-winning drive and you're human and you lose that game-winning drive. And I feel like there's some people that might just be like, fuck, delete that video, let me start over. And I'm like, let the world see it, so...
Yeah, it makes you more relatable, right? We're all out here losing Madden games in just the same way, seeing one of your favorite YouTubers.
That watch me are ass.
Bro,
I know y'all are hearing it.
That's what I'm saying. So would you guide then? Do you think you would guide like Young Gun's hand more toward content than competitive, kind of almost regardless of the game? Someone who wants to do something circled around video games and want to be involved, maybe make a couple bucks, see what happens. Are you encouraging someone in that spot to focus on their content over specializing in a game, say?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, when I was streaming every day, my favorite thing about streaming every day wasn't to boot up and get donations or boot up and get subs. Obviously, that was a good part of it, right? But we used to pick like the dude that had no viewers and we would raid him with like thousands of people.
It's the best.
And then I would go to bed right after, and like it was like the most satisfying thing to me, knowing that we done made this person who half the time the people didn't even know who I was. Yeah. And we would just send all these people, and you just realize how much you made their day. And yeah, that to me, that's what it's all about.
What about what about kind of the balance in streaming and YouTube? And I know you tend more toward YouTube, obviously. You see ScoMo kind of running the play. We were talking about it a bit yesterday. If he's kind of killing a couple birds with this morning stream stone. He's getting up the stream. He's getting, McCullough's in there, and they're getting whatever video they want to put out there for the day. Also, what shifted your focus, or did your focus ever shift?
It's just hard, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I got 2 kids. I'm very, very into my kids' lives. I coach probably 5 sports a year. Every day it's something, you know what I'm saying? So and my wife had been in school. She literally, can we get a round of applause? Mrs. Nasty finally graduated school 2 months ago. Thank
Excellent.
God.
Go crazy, Mrs. Nasty.
So, and to each his own. She started, got pregnant, stopped, started again, got pregnant, stopped, so it's but yeah, I try to stream. See, my thing is I don't want to burn myself out. And now I have a new editor who I love very much, Mr. T White. And we got big things planned for the MLB release, because I actually enjoy making content on that. Not that I don't enjoy trying to entertain on Madden, but sometimes it can be, I fucking can't stand EA. I just can't. It's just they fuck everyone over, and now we're getting out of chronological order again. But we'll go back.
Jump around.
We can go back, but yeah. It's hard. So I plan on starting to stream baseball when it comes out.
Okay.
And I don't want to promise and be like, oh, I'm gonna stream for the next 3 months, because I go on phases, bro. If I get into it and I start streaming, I never asked anyone to sub. I never asked anything for that. But when I do stream, the Toke squad always prevails. They show up, man. I love it. So I'll probably get back on it April 1st.
Awesome. I'm sure you got a few people in the chat right now that clipped you, and you're probably absolutely going to hold that to you. So if your YouTube comment section winds up in shambles, I think I know why. But and as well they should. Your family keeps coming up in our conversation. Obviously a huge part of your life, who you are as a man, and I'm sure I hope to become a father before too long. I'm 31 myself. I got the little, I know it's weird to hear from a dude, but I kind of got a little bit of baby fever. If you could tell me, bro, what did becoming a father do for you, do to you? How did it kind of change your outlook on your priorities, what you were doing, and the steps that you were taking in your life? Because you're
first, bro. I tell my viewers all the time. Most of them get it. I got a good loyal group of guys, some ride or dies that watch my channel. I could upload whatever they're gonna watch, and I think they watch for me, and who I am as a person versus what game I'm playing.
I agree.
I grew up. I was lucky enough to grow up in a good family. So just trying to pay it back to my kids. So. Right now, my one son's about to turn 8. My other son is about to turn 5. They're playing. My older son, Brody, is one of the best football players I've ever seen in my life. And he's one of the best basketball players I've ever seen in my life, and baseball. So he's 7. He turns 8 in the end of May 30th. And we just actually started baseball up. And he's playing up in the 9 and 10s right now. I'm coaching a 9 and 10 team.
It's a full
bunch
year
of fourth
plus
graders,
out.
Big ass dudes. And the only one on the and I'm the coach, and the only one on the team that's not 9 or 10 is my son, who's 7, and he's just as good as they are. So I'm constantly pushing him. If that means my YouTube content slows down, and I'm coaching my other son as well, and we go from football 3 times a year to basketball 2 times a year to baseball 2 times a year to my other sons. And I really enjoy the aspect of coaching. If I was never a YouTuber and I actually had to get a real job, I would probably try to do something in the coaching aspect of it. So yeah, I enjoy it, man.
I mean, all I'm hearing is that your priorities are squarely in order. And I gotta imagine, to your point earlier, when you're coming out of college, you didn't want to work for anybody. It wasn't gonna be a 9 to 5 in a cubicle, answering to some dick fuck down the hall. I gotta imagine what you're doing, your YouTube, and your flexibility, being self-employed, being an entrepreneur, lends itself to being able to do these things. And it sounds like, from where I'm sitting, I mean, one of the biggest almost benefit, of course, the money and all the friends and the connections that you make is amazing. But I gotta imagine one of the biggest benefits is your ability to do all these things, to coach all of the seasons. No?
Yeah, I love it, man. AAU football, AAU basketball, regular little league, regular YMCA football. I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
You think they'll get into? Will you put them on like a YouTube or a stream or something like that if they pick up any interest? They're going to be outside kids.
They're definitely outside kids. I've been geeking on Fortnite with them lately. Like, I'm a fucking beast at Fortnite. I be carrying the kids. I don't know how many wins we done got in the last 3 weeks, but like, bro, they look at me like I'm a god.
Bro, you going crazy, no build?
I go crazy, bro. I get like 13, 15. Now I might be playing against 5 and 6 and 8 year olds, and that's okay. But yeah, I go fucking ham, bro.
Hell yeah, right. That's good stuff. So I mean, more kind of background info. It's kind of the development of your channel here, bro. I noticed a couple things as I was scrolling. Some of the YouTubers that I've had the opportunity to sit down and talk with kind of clued me into why some people start second channels and kind of this weird like algorithm value in like niching everything. That's the phrase that Eric Rayweather used. Like, niche down as hard as you can, and if you think you're all the way niche down, do it again. Like, niche even further down. And I noticed for you, unless I missed it, you have all of your stuff variety, kind of regardless what the game is, on your channel. Is there a second channel that I missed, or are you just putting all your stuff into one bucket here?
I got a second channel, Toke Plays.
Toke Plays, tap in.
And honestly, at one point that channel was doing way better. Even when I was in my peak of my main channel, my second channel was banging, bro. And I was totally into it, man. I was like, I want to be this like gamer guy. I'll turn my camera back on in a second.
No rush.
And I fucking got hit by YouTube on a strike because I had basically one of my GTA thumbnails was a dude bending over another dude. There was no private part shown, but just it was an explicit thumbnail. Right. And they basically took my monetization away for 6 months. And it kind of just absolutely killed any drive I had for the Toke Plays channel. And I really haven't even found the time to get back to it. That was my little baby, though. I love that thing. And as far as just uploading on every channel, I just, I like it. I know other people like to do it. I look at it as, I go hard on baseball for 7 months. I might stop. I'd rather have a variety channel with things that anyone can watch. Like I uploaded a boxing series like a year and a half ago, and it did really well, and it didn't affect anything. And I feel like ultimately consistency is key.
And on that note, consistency being key, are you of the mind that to stroke the algorithm even still that you got to be daily uploading? Eric Ray was saying like maybe not. He's a little less. He's focusing on more quality over quantity. Or like is daily still the best way to grow, or has that changed a bit?
I have no idea. I'm battling the algorithm myself. We going toe to toe, 12 rounds.
I mean, is the thing been changing throughout your whole YouTube career? It seems like it's impossible to get a grip on and nail down.
I think that the just the way they do things now, like the sub box is almost gone on the app and stuff. It's more recommendations and homepage type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the same thing. Eric was saying that like you could watch somebody all the time and just like almost accidentally not be subscribed to the channel because YouTube is gonna push these videos to you anyway. Cam's good, looking handsome, bro. YouTube's gonna push the same videos to you anyway, so it's like there's no. He was also saying that subs like don't matter as much. Are you got eyes on a mill? Do you feel a way about the? Well, I know you're about to. The 750 is going to be soon if it's not actually already. You feel a way about subscriber milestones? Did you ever?
No, I personally don't. It's just more, at the end of the day, it's a job, so as long as you're making money, to me, that's really all that matters. Any brand deals want to work with me, let me know. I
at Toke Nasty.
I could sell a pile of shit to a plumber, so let me know.
Oh, I'm gonna have to add that one to my repertoire. I could sell sand on the beach. I could sell ice to an Eskimo. Those are a couple of my standbys. Because I'm the same way. I could feel like I could sell what the fuck ever. Your thumbnails.
Basically, right now we got some goals set, and me getting an editor has helped tremendously as far as being able to push out content. And
is that new? The editor? Did you not have one before?
Like about a month. Yeah, everything else I did myself.
So up to this point, you have not outsourced.
I'm kind of nitpicky, but he's getting it down a little bit, and he does a great job. I love him, man. He does everything that I could ever ask for. We got some big goals set for April,
Yeah.
Daily Road to the Show, daily Diamond Dynasty. If you're a fan of Madden, well, this is that time of the year where I kind of step back from Madden and focus in on baseball, because that's just kind of my thing. So,
yeah,
and we'll see what goes from there. Everything, like, for me is it just rolls off the tongue, dude. Like, people are like, oh, this guy and these stories that he portrays and all this other stuff, like it's just natural to me. It's just
easy.
The characters I build and talk about and the stories I tell, it's like there's no script. Like, it's just whatever comes out of my mouth type thing.
I think that's why it's the most appealing, man. I can't wait to see some of what you got going on for April here. I'm surprised to hear that you took this long to pick up the editor, I guess. Were you outsourcing any of the other kind of duties of your YouTube channel, or has this been, until enter the editor about a month ago from what you were saying, has this been a solo show? Like, you're the guy here, thumbnails, the whole bit, it's coming from you?
I outsource some thumbnails now too.
Okay.
But yeah, it used to be, yeah, everything was me. And I don't know how the fuck, like, back in the day, like, I'd put up 3 videos on my main channel, 3 videos on my second channel. I don't know how, like, thinking back to it now, I don't know how the hell I did it. I edited everything.
It's a lot. I was scrolling through some of the early stuff, and like you got to see kind of like the trends of your thumbnail development. There was like early on like more text, and then it was like a screenshot with like an Instagram filter on it almost. And then were you one of the pioneers of the arrow on the thumbnail? Keep it real with me.
Probably, bro. I feel like I was the pioneer of face cam live audio, especially in like the sports genre. If I wasn't first, I feel like I was definitely first in Madden, 100% first in Madden. I was the first person to do live commentary and face cam.
And set the stage for everyone that's doing it now today. Like, as you look around, what are your feelings about kind of just the more like the general feel of the community? It seems like there's so many more people that are on the face cam, right? That are running some of the Toke plays and doing their own things and coin methods, whatever it may be. So many more streamers. I think Madden, I think we're lucky for a high density of like partners based on how big the directory is. There's a bunch of partnerships going on. But as you've seen this thing develop, you've seen a community develop. You look around now. What do you think is like kind of just the general state of things? You think are we on the way up? I know 21 was tough. It sounds like 22 is a little bit better. How are you seeing the landscape from your perspective?
Hey man, if someone wants to do it, I recommend doing it.
Hell yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of sports games. Everyone's gaming. Gaming is the new thing. Like 5 years ago, you look in the yearbook and people are like, I want to be an NBA star, a hockey player, or a doctor, or like my son said when he was 5, he wanted to be an ice cream truck driver.
Okay. I mean, practical,
but now they're
bro.
like, you talk to kids and they're like, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I think that's awesome, man.
I think so too. I mean, it kind of indicates just like the changing landscape. We got kids getting, Noah getting a video, the Madden player Noah getting a video dedicated from
Raw
the West
Dog.
Virginia
What up,
president. You see that? Yeah, Raw Dog in the channel too. Raw's a super OG.
Yeah, buddy. I met Raw right when he first started. I used to raid Raw right when he started his grind. That was one of my favorite things to do. And that's like, I was just gonna say, people tweet me all the time, like their YouTube videos or stuff. I got this one kid that Hazard, and he constantly comments on my videos and he tweets me his videos. He's got like 10 subscribers. I turn notifications on because his videos are short, quick. Most of them are shorts. Bro, I look forward to, and I don't know who the hell this kid is. Like he don't be showing his face. He don't be talking. But I knew that if that was me and someone tweeted me, like that would have made my fucking year. You know what I'm saying? So
totally.
I subscribed, I turn notifications on, and I make sure that every time he uploads a video, whether it's Apex, I don't even know what fucking Apex Legends is, but that's what he uploads. And every time he uploads a video, I get the alert on my phone and I take 2 minutes out of my day. I click it, I like it, I watch it. So I know that this kid always has a view. Like when he looks, it continues to keep his grind going when he's like, oh my God, it's not just me who watched my video today, somebody else. And I don't tell him that it's me. If he's in here now, he knows. But to me, that little effort that I take out of my day to try to make his day better, I'm all for it, bro. Like that's the way it works.
And totally worth it. I think it speaks volumes to your character that you're, so willing to foster the people around you, and you're rooting for everybody else. You know what I mean? There's plenty of food at the table. Like, it's not taking anything away from you. And I think in this like content, and I'm new to it still for certain, but from what little I've seen in this content game, it's like there's this idea that if somebody else is eating that you can't, or that like there's less food for you, and it doesn't feel like that. It feels like there's enough opportunity, enough food to go around. Everyone can sit at the table, so it's refreshing to hear from somebody like you at the top of our craft, at the top of our community, still willing to put in the couple minutes for the guy with no face cam. That's lit.
Okay, man. Hey, man, everyone can eat. I'm going to eat. Anyone can eat. Anyone wants to eat, they can eat. I got tons of sponsors, tons of people that take care of me, and I appreciate you guys when I do sponsors that you check them out and you use my code and you do that. And, my ROIs with any company I've ever worked with have been astronomically good. So
it's because of your following and how loyal they are, and the fact that you have the ride or dies. Now, without pocket checking too much, it's been a question I've asked a couple of our guests, and you can share as much or as little as you want. Just when you had the first check that came through that was maybe a little more than the last ones had been, you had the banger video, maybe it was after the MLB series, whatever, or a sponsorship came through huge. Did you have any like notable like first purchase with your extra bread that you remember? You a collector of anything? You a shoe guy? Cop a car? Anything memorable?
I used to be a shoe guy. I'm not really a shoe guy anymore.
Jays?
I bought a badass skateboard one time, which I still have. But no, I mean, I bought a car. I'm thankful enough to, I live in a big house,
Nice.
On the water. I got a boat in the backyard. Literally, if I want to go out on the boat, like, I'm not trying to brag or anything. It's just like, I walk out my back door. The water's right there. I can just get in the boat, start it up, and take off.
Man,
so that's kind of was my three big purchases. I got my dream car. I got just normal necessities. Now it's more, like if my kids aren't very needy either. So it's like if I can get them a new baseball bat or stuff like. I don't buy stuff very often. Like, I just got this Masters hat for my birthday from 2 days ago. My wife's like, "What do you want for your birthday?"
Hey, happy belated, brother.
I said, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I want a Masters hat, but I got a big ass fucking head, and I know whatever one you find online is not gonna make it. So I bought a Kelly Green trucker hat, blank, for $4, and then I went on eBay and I bought a Masters patch for $2. And I said, I gave it to my wife. I said, sew that bitch together. And it's one of the best birthday gifts I ever gotten, man.
And you are putting me on right now. I did not know there were these alternate options available for big head motherfuckers, dude. I pack into an 8, or if I can ever find an XL to double XL stretch fit, and those are never anywhere. All the snapbacks like look like yarmulkes. It's not good.
I said, start your own business and do that. It would be good.
Meta. Brother, I want to be very respectful of your time here. We're creeping up on an hour. I know this will end up going a little bit later. I'm sure the kids are coming back around.
You're good, man. Ask away.
Hell yeah, right, man. I got one more question for you. It's one of my favorites to ask. One of the unifying threads here. You've obviously been able to do this, sustain it. You've created a wonderful life for yourself. I have a very personal experience with mental health and my own bipolar depression and the highs and the lows and everything that comes along with that. And I always say, perfectly good answer to this question is I enjoy really good mental health, and this is how I keep it this way. But I'm curious to ask you about your experience with mental health. If you've had to, weather some of the lows and moderate some of the highs, and, any of your habits or routines, anything that you do to stay on the up and up, to keep your head in the game as long as you have.
Mine is like back and forth type deal. you know, and a lot of the comments, you know, like I can't remember who said it in your chat before I came on. They were like, oh man, I was going through a rough time back in the day, and Toke's videos used to make my day. And I get those comments almost every single day, and to me that means a lot. You know, it means a lot because people are like, oh, you're so happy, you're so energetic, and you know, then I see those comments, and you know, I have my days too, man. I have my days. Life is stressed. Life is always stressed. You know, constant go. It's just take it one day at a time, man. Like I went through a spurt where I didn't upload for almost like 4 or 5 months on and off, you know, and it's okay, you know. And at that point, like all I ever wanted was for someone to reach out to me and ask me if I was okay, you know, and that's why I say I keep my circle very close, because at those type of times when you don't want to ask someone to do it, but knowing that if they did do it, it would have made things a lot better. Yeah. So I kind of just, you know, if you know someone and you think that they're dealing with something, the worst thing you can do is just be like, he's okay. Give him time versus taking the time to reach out and making sure everything is okay. But you know, I'm happy. You know, my kids make me happy. I've been enjoying coaching. That's really been it, and just trying to find time to be consistent. And I think that's been like the biggest thing for me is trying to stay consistent and you know, people are like, oh man, and there's a lot of adults in here too, right? If you go from not like not having responsibilities, and I don't mean responsibilities and stuff, but as far as like, I'm a night guy, right? I like to stay up at night, but I also like my sleep. So it's like once you get kids in school, and I'm making a big deal out of it. My one kid's in 2nd grade now, but yo, when you got to be up at 6 a.m. and you got to do this and you got to do that, and you want to go to the gym and you want to do this, and you know you got to be someplace at 5. It's just managing your time the right way. And you know, if you're that type of person that has to write things down to figure out what you need to do, then do that. You know, write it down, figure it out, and just make sure you're getting things done. And I'm not the best at it, honestly. I'm surely not the best at it. I can't remember the last time I uploaded a video on the weekend, but that's okay to me. I'll take that loss of money, and I'll take that negative comment that I didn't upload when I said I was. Because you know what I did? You know, we had a baseball game, we had a football game. I took my kids out on the boat, or I played pig. We've been doing a lot of playing horse and pig lately. Or I, you know, watched a little sports or whatnot and didn't feel like doing shit. And I think that's okay. And you know, if anyone feels pressured because they have to do something and they don't want to, it's okay. You don't have to do it.
I love the advice. I love the guidance to check in on your friends if you can, not let them suffer in silence. Because you're right, a lot of times, you know, when you're
I
not
suffered, bro. I felt like for a while I suffered, and all I wanted was my friends to reach out, and there was only 1 or 2 of them that did, you know, and that's just where you kind of keep your circle. Your circle kind of just gets smaller and smaller at that point, where it's like, fuck, man, like you're only there when I'm up. You're only there when you need something. And you know, that's where it's kind of like, you know, I saw an Instagram thing the other day of this guy, and he was like, you don't need a lot of motherfuckers. You give me 2 bad motherfuckers and I could take over the goddamn world with them. You don't need 1,000 people, you know? So
yeah, sure indeed. I got the same thing, man. I've whittled my group down to 2. Shout to Big Spence and Luke. Fucking love you guys. Toke, man, I mean, give
me 1 second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. If you got any other, I still got a couple time. If you feel like you need to talk more, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick and then be right back. Right?
Hell yeah, right, brother. Perfect. That'll be perfect time, and we could round the corner if he's got anything else to drop on us. Let him open up the floor for him one more time. What a fucking stud, man. Love to hear about fathers being super, super, super tapped in with their kids' lives, the ability to, you know, set boundaries at work, and, you know, schedule adjustment. Quick check on chat questions. If y'all got questions, ask them now. All right, yeah, PFG, we'll have him sign off with a yard. Yeah, we did. You can't see me. He didn't give a whole heck of a lot of the background there, but he said just got to stick up for yourself. Basically, people talking shit. And he's like me, right? He'll always be the type of guy to stand up for himself, as well he should. But we'll have him sign off with a yell there, PFG. I'll just open the floor to see if he's got anything he wanted to report on. We got through everything that I wanted to touch on for sure. I bet it is Raw, but I also bet it's super worth it. Toke, man, we were just cutting up in the chat. We had request from PFG for a yard yell out as you sign off. But man, like I said, I want to be respectful of your time. We're creeping up on an hour here. It means so much to me that you would block out some of your day, then make a necessary adjustment when the day didn't quite look as you thought it would. You know, it means a lot to me that you were still willing to tap in with us and chop it up. The story was incredible. The early hustle days, selling Madden cards on eBay. That is the first I've heard of that, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. The beer pong W's, the COD wins. We got to hear about kind of the hustler mentality and how it came to be. And, I think I got a better idea now of why it is that you wound up where you're at now, bro. Thank you so much for your time. If you got anything you wanted to touch on before you get on for the rest of your great day, and if you would oblige the channel, the yard sign off, man.
The yard.
Come on,
it's hard to do it because the yard, it's not a fake thing. Like when I see the pitch coming in, like it's natural. You can't fake the yard. Like it's natural. And Agreed. It's like the same thing with my commentary, dude. Like when I say, like, people think, oh, fucking shit, fuck. Like, oh, I just say that to get a laugh. No, like, I'm fucking shit, fuck. Like, we're fucked.
What you see is what you get.
So, and anyone trying to do this, like, anyone can do it, bro. You put in the work and just be yourself. Like, you don't have to be me. Like, I'm like, everything I do is organic and it caters to me. Like, I'm the same, and I tell people all the time, I'm the same person. Like, if you met me at a bar or at Lowe's, because I seem to go to Lowe's and Home Depot more than I go to a bar now. Yeah. If you meet me there, I'm the same person that you would see in the videos. Like, it's not like a different person. So just be yourself and grind and you're good to go, man. Like, don't let anyone tell you no. Because, I tell my wife, I'm going back to the very beginning when I told my wife I'm going to be a YouTuber and she said, no, you can't fuck no. Now, when I tell my wife anything, it doesn't matter what it is. I could say the craziest fucking thing in the world. And she's like, if there's anyone that can do it, it's you. And I will never doubt it from you, because it is what it is, So
man,
if you got a goal in life, whatever it is, yeah, bro. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, chat. Fucking lawn guy tried to hustle me on some mulch. He was like, it's gonna cost $1,200 to buy the mulch and lay. And I said, the fuck? So then I called about 9:30 this morning. I called the mulch people and I was like, how much is the amount of yards I need for mulch? And then I was like, man, I could either do it myself. I even considered putting out a tweet and being like, anyone want to come work for some money?
Yeah.
But so just be original and do your thing, man. And if the Raiders win the Super Bowl, we're going to throw a massive rager.
Okay, I'm going to be then. You're going to have to RSVP me. That's a +1 for that, bro. I'm going to be
and now, too, with like the COVID shit going away and stuff, like we can start doing events and doing stuff like that and going out with people. And I love doing stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
I might be getting older, but I can fucking turn up with the best of them.
Man, we can still keep
ready
up,
to go.
Bro. Come on, in the 30s, talk to. I'm trying to set up something with ScoMo and some of these guys, a spot out there for TwitchCon. So I might have to float that your way if we get this house the way it's looking.
I'm down for TwitchCon, bro. I think I'm gonna try to go to ScoMo. I'm gonna try to go to ScoMo's for take my kids to Dodgers Braves in the middle of June. We can just go raid ScoMo's house for a couple days.
Hell yeah. That's what he was saying, like having everybody at the crib, like kind of home base first and then just flying out from there. I think it would be lit, man. I don't think this will be the last I see of you. At least I hope not. I would love to meet you someday. Toke, man, thank you from myself, from the congregation, for the time you spent with us today. I hope the young gun feels a little bit better, man. I appreciate the guidance, the story, the hustler's mindset, a natural interview. I knew it was going to be. I'm just going to be able to sit here and shut the fuck up and let this man's star shine. I really appreciate the time, Toke. Thank you so much.
Hey, appreciate it, guys.
Hell yeah, right, man. We'll catch you soon.
All right, buddy. See you.
All right, brother. Legend. I called him a legend. He was still on the line. That's a little bit awkward. Awkward or not. W's? W's in the chat? Or what? W's in the chat or what? I'm collecting. I am collecting. My palm is out. I need W's. I need W's in the channel for Toke Nasty. What a fucking legend, bro.